So we're a chaotic human priest. Of course, that gives us the advantage to see whether things are blessed or cursed without having to find an altar or use our pet. It is nice. It speeds up our game early. We have Cure Sickness and Extra Healing, neither of which we can cast very well right now. We do start with a robe, which means we will be able to wear armor and still cast our spells, which is nice. And we start with a +1 mace, which isn't the worst weapon. Certainly better than the healer we tried last time, which starts with a scalpel. And we have 4 potions of holy water to start with. Basically no food. So an early goal will be to find some food. So we'll kill this newt and we'll move on. I may abandon our pet early. With the idea that we don't really need the pet for testing whether things are cursed or not. So the utility is less than otherwise. Eat the jackal corpse. So I'd love to find some more armor. Out of curiosity, let's see if taking off our shield increases our spell casting. 91, 93. It's very, very small difference. I believe the robe negates body armor's effect on your spellcasting. So if we find a good suit of armor, we'll definitely wear it. As we go up levels and our wisdom gets better, we should be able to cast our spells more effectively. So that sync is interesting. I think when we go up a few levels, we'll come back and kick that. So we'll have to see if we can survive the early game here a little better. Last 2 attempts we died in Mine Town. I think they were both... Well, the first one, you know, they were both avoidable. But, yeah, just silly mistakes. Let's not get surrounded here. Kill 1. Oh, key is great. We've gotten keys early in... Or lockpicks in each of our recent games here. There's our downstairs. A couple of fountains on this level as well. All right, so I guess my cat can come with me for now. We're still... Just ate a triperation is fine. Let's poke my head down here. Okay. So I'd love to get some traction on around here. I feel like the last 2 had some promise. I did get Boots of Speed from a shop in my healer run. There's the Gnomish Mines. I didn't really have a whole lot. Close our inventory, that's fine though. We have a key. So we can just open the door and take a look. There's some body armor here. Hey Queen Xerxes. Welcome. Yeah, I was so glad to catch your stream. I did say so, but very sincerely love to see new players getting into Nethack. I've been playing Nethack for, I don't know, over 20 years, and only recently won the game for the first time. So in the past year, I've been trying to win with each roll. Silver Dagger is interesting. Yeah, a very entertaining stream, and glad you're playing. So I'm going to throw some gold here. Let's throw one gold piece in this direction. Just to see, there are creatures that... Let's see if the shopkeeper's gonna let me go over here. Are dangerous and will hide in shops. So throwing gold around is a way to find out if they're in there. Looking forward to the journey. Yes. Yeah, I think you should enjoy the discoveries, and I eventually started to rely a lot on the wiki, and I think when you get to a certain point in your journey of playing Nethack, you're going to want to sort of look at the wiki a good deal. But right now, I think it's a lot of fun early on to discover things for yourself, maybe with some light guidance from people who've played before. That's probably the best way to play. So just a quick stream here. I just ended up with extra 45 minutes where my boys are upstairs playing Legos and my wife is on a call. So I was like, why don't I stream some Nethack? Yeah, so I've streamed the last few ascension runs, which I did. And the monk, which I ascended last, I streamed that entire run and put it up on YouTube too as well. So trying to do more of that. So priest, it doesn't have any weapon proficiencies with any edged weapons, as you can imagine. So things like maces, morning stars, flails, hammers, and quarterstaffs. There are ways to get around that, though, which we may or may not have. So here is a blessed morning star. Let's see if is it much better than our mace. It's 2d4 or 1d6 plus 1. Our mace is d6, d6. It's like slightly better than our mace, and our mace is enchanted, so I'm not sure I want to switch. The ringmail I am interested in. It's not cursed. Yeah, no, I agree. You should definitely keep some mystery. So it's not definitely not spoiler free. I actually was thinking about a few different things I could do in the future. One idea would be to do a stream, like a spoiler free stream. And the way you do that is just sort of, play in a reasonable way, but maybe don't use all of the special strategies or don't talk about all the little tricks and stuff, and just sort of play it more straightforward and try and keep it beginner friendly and talk about strategies which will help you in the first sort of third of the game or half of the game without talking about sort of the end game strats. So we don't have 100 gold, but what I can do is we can try and get our pet to steal this. So what I will do, another morning star there. I'll drop the ringmail here. I'm not sure my cat is strong enough to carry it quite yet. Basically, it's already stealing things. It just stole an arrow for us. Picked up a boomerang. So it stole a boomerang for us as well. So large cats can pick up things which are heavy, like boxes. I'm not sure about kittens. It may not be strong enough to pick up this ring mail yet. Pick up a club for me. I just picked up a dagger. The other thing is if it steals enough stuff for us, we could always sell it back to the shopkeeper and perhaps use that money to buy this ring mail. Out of curiosity, I do want to try this on. It's not cursed. I know that because I'm a priest and can see that. If I take off my robe and I wear this ring mail, and I wear the robe on top, so it actually did decrease my chance to cast the spell. So it's not working exactly like I thought it would, because I thought robes negated that penalty. But I guess it only negates some amount of it. It's still worth wearing armor, but unfortunately, we will be. Yes, pets are very useful in a couple different ways. And stealing stuff from shops is one of them. You can actually train them to do it more. So if you had food, if they pick something up from a shop and they drop it next to you, reward them for it, and they'll do it more often. So let me drop some stuff here. So we don't really want like a blessed arrow. We don't really want the boomerang. Sell them back to the shopkeeper here. I'm just going to assume my kitten is not strong enough to pick up that ring mail, and we're going to move on before we starve to death here. I'm going to finish fully exploring this level before we move on, though. Yeah, so in the technical terms, it's called apport. It's actually something that the game tracks. So it's a measure of tameness, and you may notice that they stay a little closer to you if you're holding on to a treat they like. So if you have like a triperation in your pocket, they'll actually tend to stay closer to you as well. So the devs have built a lot of stuff into this game that make it very deep. That's what happens when it's been in development for as many years as it has been. Ooh, very nice. A chaotic altar. This is great. So, have you played around with altars yet? Because it's a bit of a spoiler, I guess, but it's also just a very strong early game strategy. And we're going to definitely take advantage of that altar as much as we possibly can. If you've played Spelunky, it's actually inspired by this mechanic. Well, one of the abilities has to do with dropping items on the altar. And that's actually not very useful for us as a priest. But the other ability has to do with making sacrifices to your god. And that's what we're going to be doing in the near future here. I would like to get some more food first, though. Sorry if you're hearing that in the background. Live on a noisy street here. So I may actually jump down to the next level. So what I'll do, we will not sacrifice the kitten. That's actually one of those things that's considered a bad idea. Your intuition of not eating the kitten corpse was actually a good one. They actually do have some negative consequences for doing things like eating your pet or sacrificing your pet. So both of those things are a bad idea. So we have a goblin corpse here. We're going to offer it onto the altar here. So your sacrifice is consumed in a burst of flame, and that's all we get for now. We can do that again. And we're making our god happier with us by doing this. Don't want to rust my stuff here, but maybe my kitten will take care of this acid blob for me. Bats are reasonably dangerous. At level 2, I think we should be able to take it on, but they're very fast. I've definitely died a lot to bats in the first level or two. So we're going to sacrifice the bat corpse. All right, so we're going up levels here. I would like to have some food, just as a backup here. We can pray for food, but I'd rather not. So let's take a quick look at dungeon level 3, and then we'll go back to the altar. All right, so that's an apple, okay. I was going to say, be careful about corpses on the floor. Also, piles of stones. Be careful about piles of stones on the floor. Although, this seems fine. Ants, yeah, ants are terrible. Because they show up, they're very fast. They show up in packs. So they're hard to run from. They're faster than you, so they get like 1.5 attacks for every 1 attack you get. Oof, okay, let's... Ooh, hang on a second here. Let's not die. Let my kitten soften him up. We're still not able to cast our healing spells very well. So we need to go up some more levels. Yeah. Yep. The all of Team A is dangerous. So killer bees usually show up around dungeon level 5. Extremely dangerous. We're gonna hang out in this room for a few turns. I'm gonna just hit 20 S and just wait to heal. I'll back off again from this hobgoblin. Let my kitten deal with it a little bit. I think now we can take a swing. All right, so we got the hobgoblin, and it has a iron skull cap. This is probably going to tank our spellcasting ability even more, but the AC is worth it, so we're going to put that on. So we're at 94% fail. We were at 90 before. Oh, another altar. Last 2 runs I did, I didn't find a single altar. Now I found 2 on back-to-back levels. So may actually use this one instead. Is that kobold zombie? 2 tribrations. All right, so we're going to pick those up. You may notice that the kitten will stay a little closer to us now. That we have a tasty treat in our pocket. A statue of an acid blob, okay. They will sometimes come to life. Let's poke our head down to the next level. Grab this scroll, and we'll go back up. A were-rat. So were-rats are dangerous. For 2 reasons. They can inflict you with lycanthropy, and they can also summon a large number of rats around you. So it escaped back upstairs. follow it back up. Were rats are considered human, so you need to consider what human sacrifice might do and whether that's something you want to engage in. I think we will not sacrifice a human corpse on an altar, but it could be something fun to play around with. All right, we'll eat this apple first. We are chaotic, so it wouldn't be bad to sacrifice the human corpse on the altar, but it would be interesting. Oh, we have wolfsbane, so even if we did get lycanthropy, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. You can eat a sprig of wolfsbane, and that will cure you. I think we'll eat the garlic next. It's very limited uses. All right. Yeah, we're not having much luck finding just like food lying around. I think we'll be okay. We have one food ration. And I think I would prefer to be on the level with this shop. So we'll go down to this level. I'm actually going to eat this fox corpse. I don't think it's going to be fresh enough to sacrifice by the time I get all the way over to that altar. So just like eating corpses, your god will only accept corpses which are fresh and doesn't like old corpses. And I may actually abandon my kitten here. They tend to eat corpses, and when you're trying to get a bunch of corpses, that can be a problem. The good news is that we have 2 tripe rations, so whenever we want to have a kitten again, we can always come back down here and retame it. So farewell, Mr. Cuddles. We may see you again. This acid blob is so if I take off my iron stuff and I punch it, it's going to do a lot of damage to me. Maybe actually wield a crude dagger. It's a little better than punching. And we don't care if it gets damaged. Oh, we're not taking that much damage. We're not very good at this dagger. All right, finally got it. Put on this armor. I'm gonna keep exploring this level a little bit, make sure we don't miss anything. Bring this jackal corpse back down and sacrifice it. So there was a message there. You hear the footsteps of a guard on patrol. So that's interesting. I'm just going to hashtag annotate this level. I'll say guard on patrol. And that will remind me of something about this level, which I may want to take advantage of later. And here I'm going to fast travel back to the altar, so it can do __, and just hit the period will take us right back there. Just a quick way to get back to the altar. If you spent as much time camping altars as I have, then that will go into your muscle memory. Lead that hobbit back to the altar too. We don't want to... Ooh, we're starting to feel weak here. So careful about our hit points here. And after you get weak, you start to get fainting pretty shortly. All right, so that was interesting. The hobbit drank a blessed milky potion and looks much better. So if you hit the / key and see your discoveries, and now we know that a potion of extra healing is milky. The hobbit has an iron skull cap too. So now that we're weak, what we can do, we just sacrificed a corpse on the altar and it was consumed in a burst of flame. And that tells you that your god is happy with you. So we're going to step right onto this altar here. And we're actually going to #pray. And while you're weak, that's considered a serious affliction. So our God's going to take care of us. And it's going to make us content. It's going to give us nutrition. And by sacrificing corpses, we can shorten that prayer timeout. Normally it'd be about 1,000 turns before your god will let you pray again. But if you sacrifice corpses, then you can actually reduce that timeout. So by camping the altar here, we're basically preventing us from running out of food is one of the advantages. And there are other advantages to sacrificing on altars, which will become apparent in the future. So after I pray on the altar, I like to go around the level and just see if there's anything hanging out that I want to clean out. I used to think that it would make a difference in terms of new creatures spawning. I don't think that's the case. I don't think there's anything in the code. I mean, beyond like just a hard limit. I don't think there's anything in the code which says there's 20 creatures on here on this level, so that means fewer are going to spawn. But I do like to tidy it up. Footsteps of guard and patrol again. I'm gonna sit here. I'm just gonna wait for a little bit, and we'll let this jackal come to us. We'll step right on the altar for us, which makes it easier. And again, it says sacrifice is consumed in a burst of flame. You may notice I have all these notes over here, which I keep track of. So because the sacrifice is consumed in a burst of flame, I can actually mark that we can pray. And I should be marking the turn I last prayed, but I'll do that moving forward. But right now we know that we can pray, so we can just sit here, wait for monsters to come to us, and we should be fine for food because we can pray. And we have a cursed flail here. Like as we collect this stuff, we can bring it over to the arms and armor shop over there and sell it. A blessed crude dagger. And we'll try on all these caps too, because we know they're not cursed because we have that ability. And there's some chance that one of these will be better. Oh. Nope, they're all +0. So in a minute here, we'll pray again. They'll go to the shop and dump some of this stuff off. So we're weak. So we'll go ahead and pray. Oop, that's not right. All right, so praying to Mars, the god of war. And I will keep track of that. So we can no longer pray. We last prayed on turn 2729. So all else held equal, in about 1,000 turns, we should be able to pray again. Although we're going to shorten that quite a bit by offering things to our god. I'm going to take the trek over to the shop and drop off some of this junk, basically just so I don't carry it, and also so the goblins and other things we're running into won't pick them up and put them on. Lichen corpses are nice because they never go bad. So we may just hang on to that as an emergency food source. So let's drop a bunch of stuff here. Having some daggers might be nice. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, Queen Xerxes, and I'll definitely check out your stream next time you stream Nethack or whatever else. Have a good night. So I'm going to basically sell all this. I might want something to throw. So maybe I want to hang on to a few things to throw. Like a rune dagger, a dagger, a blessed crude dagger. Just like start to have a collection of things I can throw. We'll get rid of these extra skull caps. The cursed flail. We'll sell all this stuff. We do have over 100 gold now. So we do have an option to put this ring mail on. If we pick it up, we'll be burdened, so I don't think it's worth the loss of speed. We could, however, drop our spell books. One thing I would love to have on this level would be like a boulder or a chest, so we can stash things and they won't get stolen. The chest is ideal. I didn't see one on either of these levels, though. Sometimes a closet will work, particularly because we have a key. We could search and see if there's a hidden closet in this room. Doesn't look like it. I would like to drop our spellbooks at minimum. Oh, there's a closet. Nice. Perfect. So this will be our stash. So we're going to stash, at minimum, we'll stash these scrolls that we don't know what they are, these spell books, and these potions. Anything else? Tribrations we don't need to carry around with us. So we close and lock the door. It's not a foolproof stash method. There are things that can dig through doors. So we can kill this yellow mold here. Okay, so you have a hopeful feeling. So if you get that message, it's still not safe to pray. So do I want to buy that ring mail? If I can carry it without being burdened, I think I do. At this point in the game, every bit of AC helps. Yeah, we can pick it up without getting burdened, so I'm going to go ahead and just buy it. It seems like most of our gold, but 100 gold's really not that much. So So we'll put the ring mail on, and we'll put our robe back on. So now we're down to 3 AC. Still pretty bad, but much better than before. If we get a little more powerful, we will consider going down into the mines and looking for some dwarvish mithril, which would be a big improvement over the ring mail. Grid bugs are pretty easy to kill, but never drop corpses. So not very good for this particular situation. Another nice thing about having a boulder would be we could train up our strength a little bit while we're waiting. Although melee, just sort of attacking in melee will also train up our strength. All right, let's check. Your sacrifice is consumed in a burst of flame. So just in time here, we can pray. So cutting a little close, we're hungry already. We didn't find as many creatures to sacrifice as we did before. So we're weak again, but we can pray, so we will. And I'm just keep track of that. Toggle this off and change this. Okay, hopeful feeling. Is this a shrieker? Yes. So shriekers are very nice to find, particularly if it drops a corpse here. Oh, it dropped a food ration. We're happy with that. But shrieker corpses are very good to eat if you can find them. Okay, feeling of reconciliation. So feeling of reconciliation means that you couldn't pray, but by sacrificing that corpse, you brought your timeout back down to 0, so now you can pray. So we have these darts, which are not cursed. I think that will end up being our missile weapon of choice, so we will quiver those darts. I don't think... Oh, we can get basic level on dart. I don't know that we will waste any skill points on dart, but at least we could if we wanted to. Okay, we can try on this helm. Still +0. Another lichen. Hobgoblin. Last hobgoblin we ran into was a little difficult, but we're XP level 5 now, so I think we're okay. Okay, so we feel more confident in our weapon skills. So we could go from basic to skilled in our mace. I mean, we're going to want to actually increase our spellcasting. You're only given a limited number of skill points to allocate. I'm not sure whether it's worthwhile to put points into mace. It's not going to be our end game. Item. What's the benefit we get? From basic to skilled, we get +1 damage and +2 to hit. It's like borderline worth it. I think we're going to hold off actually on that. I have a particular reason for wanting to have that skill point available for us later. All right, so wise, agile, tough. Great. I'll try turning this. I'm just curious. Calling upon Mars, you chant an arcane formula. The dwarf zombie turns to flee. I don't think it's really like good to turn things. I believe it might use nutrition. It's slow, but it is something that priests and knights have. All right, so we're weak again. So I will go ahead and pray. Great. I'll try and come on a little bit later as well. I'm just sort of had an extra 45 minutes here, so wanted to get my next character started. And I may stop in just a minute here and then continue again later. I will go ahead and sell these daggers. Oh, so this is interesting. We'll throw darts at this floating eye. Throw all our daggers. And let's get it to move this direction. Pick everything up. All right, finally. Eat that corpse. And that gives us telepathy. So let's mark that off. So that's done. Down to 4 darts. Actually, may not want to sell these daggers after all. Another floating eye. Oops, threw that the wrong way. Ooh, that was very, very close. Do not be hasty when you're near a floating eye. All right, got it. All right, just finished checking out this area. Oh, there's brown mold in there. If it drops a corpse, that would be very interesting, actually. I don't know if we can tank the damage. Let's try. Oh, we killed it. I did not drop a corpse, though, so that's unfortunate. Would like to bring this giant rat corpse all the way over to the altar, but I don't think we'll make it that far with it still being fresh. So here's a cursed ring. doesn't always mean it's something bad, but it's most likely to be something like the Ring of Hunger or aggravate monsters. All right. Let's take off our metal stuff. Oh, we could have sold that extra orcish helm. No big deal. All right, let's see here. Burst to flame. So we can pray. And I think that's a good place to actually pause for now. I have to go check on my household and make sure everything's going all right. And I will come back later and continue this character. I think it's going pretty well. I mean, it's very early, but having an altar, we can sacrifice that in the first couple levels is a big boon. So we're going to take advantage of that. And hopefully it gives us what we need to succeed. So thanks for watching, and I will hopefully see you later on. All right, bye for now.